I agree with you, Colin. 100, 1,000, 1,000,000%. Because if Avexys and Detox, if they can set the pace of these games, focus a lot of attention their way, they do one of two things. They allow Icy to come through, clean up kills, make some big plays, fill in the gaps, but they also allow RushieZ to run free, be it nuisance, create plays for this RushieZ squad, and do what he does best. But as we're kicking off map number 1, it's eUnited versus RushieZ. We hope you guys all having a fantastic time at home. Both these squads so far undefeated. When it comes down to group play, we'll see who's going to get that other, their first loss, and shake up these brackets just a bit. 1v1 on screen. Chair is going to be Praized versus Avexys, and Praized is going to get backed up here just a bit. Forcing Avexys to play to him, but as you see, Colin, RushieZ, they've been a team to get most of the time off this hill so far.
I really liked that play right there. One of the things that's going to get underappreciated. eUnited, they had somebody in the middle of the map lancering across. They get the first down. They saved one of their utilities, not for the initial fight, but for that secondary retake. As they got the down, they threw the extra flash, which is what stunned Icy and forced him out of the hill. Now, with 25 seconds to go or so, and you're getting about a 10-point lead here, you might see them rotate off in another 5 to 10 seconds, maybe try to get one more set of slays to stop RushieZ from rotating to the next hill. But RushieZ has the spawn, and I think you're going to see Xplosive call that out. Hey guys, I'm 2v1 over here, soak up the time, try to get a couple more kills, make them spawn out, spawn awkwardly, give us a chance to rotate over. Good job though by RushieZ to push Xplosive out. They knew they had to bully him quickly, and they did it.
Even better job from Praized, because Praized, after he got the twerk bow and he fought for that middle control, that's what slowed RushieZ down from contesting P1. But the call out you were talking about that Xplosive was making, Praized heard it first. He was first on scene. He got the double, but as I'm talking of Avexys, he's back in the fight. He picks up 2 of his own. Ultimately, RushieZ has a 2v1 against Xplosive for full control over this hill for now. But Xplosive staying alive. RushieZ collecting on time. They're able to get that chip damage on him to pick up the kill. Kenny with a beautiful back A. Xplosive falls, but now Powerz trying to play his life. But RushieZ knows they cannot give him the luxury of staying alive. They send him back to the respawn as well.
Yeah, beautiful job here, bottom side of that stairwell by RushieZ, continuing to bring the pressure to that bottom side, keeping players from being able to punish them and push them back into the hill. Kenny, though, is going to get double flashed, and look at the way they are just walking up on him. Xplosive is going to try to rotate in here to try to make a miracle happen. He goes for the melee, gets rid of the meat shield, but the shots come in the back. That is a great second hill. Early defensive stand by RushieZ. They are going to get a bunch of points. They not only take the lead back, but they can kind of rack this up to about 20 or 30 point lead as well. Both power weapons are going to be spawning back up. They're going to have to worry about them. There's the torque. There's the nades. They have everything they need to get into this next hill as well. eUnited's going to have to be not only cautious, but they're going to have to go a little crazy to be able to settle this next retake down.
We'll see how wild they can get as RushieZ. They got everything in which they need to break this defensive eUnited setup. But that is, when it comes down to it, eUnited, if they can rotate early, those defensive setups are some of the best in the game. You're going to have to hit your shots. But RushieZ, they can do that. Avexys, he's trying to catch Kenny in rotation, couldn't do so. Xplosive is able to get it down from the middle of the map. Kenny, actually Xplosive wins his fight up top. Kenny's going to be flanking up the center. He's putting pressure on Avexys, knowing that that's going to be the torque bow player. eUnited, they're collecting on time, but they don't want to give up too much here in the moment. This nade will not be able to be dodged. RushieZ, they put themselves up with a main advantage. Now they're looking for Kenny here towards the inside. They're going to get a flank on him from down low. Finally clean up the kill, but they need positioning. And eUnited, they are not going down without a fight. Xplosive, the last man standing, but did he buy his team enough time to get back? I don't think he did. RushieZ, they're going to collect on the rest of this time.
Yeah, RushieZ will get about 20 more seconds if they want to hold this the whole time, but I don't think they will. They might stay here just to try to keep this fight and this pressure up. Kenny's going to pick one out, but a beautiful job there by Avexys, continuing to get the trades to go in favor of RushieZ. 30 seconds left on the torque bow. You see players rotating toward the middle of the map, getting ready for the next rotational point, which should be over there toward that torque. And I love this split here. RushieZ has actually put one player at a couple of different pillars here. They've spread enough to not get anybody kind of pinched out or pushed up onto. Big first shot by Detox. Powerz can't answer back. We go over here to the 1v1, though. Kenny has to try to win it against the Avexys to keep the pressure on RushieZ. This is what we talked about with RushieZ. He's going to wait in the wings. He's going to try to hide behind this smoke, try to keep himself a little hidden. Beautiful little pot shot there by him to keep some pressure onto Xplosive. But the angle right there in the middle of this hill, just too much to overcome. Icy and RushieZ playing back, playing at the 45s. They have done a fantastic job thus far, up by 17 points, and they are continuing to apply pressure like it was a bleeding wound.
Kenny gets a kill with the nade on RushieZ, but Detox takes him out. In the end, it is going to be a 2v2 on this side of the map. Icy trying to take down Powerz quickly, but Powerz has the same mindset as well. He gets the kill in which he needs, but with a torque in Avexys' hand, he finds one, and he'll be able to collect on his time. Give him a second as well. RushieZ in control of this hill, and they can keep building off this lead, building off this time. Avexys got a few bowls to work with, but he's going to use them wisely, and knowing that he got time to move up, take the 2v1 with Icy. Now RushieZ, they are in a great position to lock in the remaining 30 seconds of this neutral hill. eUnited, they got to start thinking about next, and I'm pretty sure they will momentarily.
Powerz staying alive and being a nuisance right here. A lot of shots on, a lot of damage being put out by Powerz, keeping 2 players from RushieZ occupied with just him should buy them the advantage on the opposite side of the map. You see, though, 3 players from eUnited are about to get pinched. Again, Icy with a beautiful angle here, backside of that spawn area. Has the 45, is just putting in a lot of damage and a lot of pressure. RushieZ, once again, pretty flawless retake right there, not losing a single life, as they also get the torque bow. They also are going to be able to set up here at the hill around those frag grenades.
Now
they damn near can pick and choose whatever fight they want, Blaze.
Yeah, they damn near can, especially when they have this lead built up at the mid portion of this game. They get a chance to rotate early, play for their power weapons, and take the fights in which they want. But when it comes down to that timing, it has to be precise, especially playing against eUnited, who's also considering the timings of power weapons, rotations, and heals. And sometimes it's hard to get ahead of them, but RushieZ is using their speed to their advantage, and they're doing a great job building off the momentum in which they built so far. 38 seconds left on his hill, and eUnited may not get a touch whatsoever. The harass is there from RushieZ. He's forcing multiple players to look his way, and that's just all time going in favor of RushieZ. And RushieZ, he doesn't care. He's like, hey, man, come kill me if you want. But you're playing for scrap time now, and we've already eclipsed past that 200-point marker.
And this is where it gets dangerous for any team playing against RushieZ. They've eclipsed the 200-point marker. You're not even at 100. That means you have to stay on every hill pretty much until the final few moments and not give up just about any points. You got to be able to get enough players in. Hey, yo, Avexys, you got to get enough of somebody's head to blow it clean off their shoulders, because you just did that.
Chill. Kenny with the double nade. eUnited, they fight back. They take out the torque bow player, and they get control over the hill. They get the spawns in which they want as well. Now, with marks on RushieZ, they got all the intel in which they need, and usually when eUnited, when they're in this type of position where everybody's on the same page, everyone knows where they need to be to get the most out of their setup and get the most time off this hill. They got Xplosive on the flank. They got all their firepower here towards the front lines. They win this fight. It comes down towards that rotation and next, but surely RushieZ does not fight their way through this. They do not negate all that damage. The revive comes in, and RushieZ hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder. They are working together to get these kills, get these downs. The flame comes through late from Xplosive, but with a double down and Powerz, they step up and ultimately win the fight. And they will continue to collect off this time.
Look at real quick the side of Xplosive. He's got 5. He's only 5 and 8, but he's got 8 assists. He's trying to lead his team in a couple of different ways. He's not going off necessarily in the kill department. He's trying to give his real slayers, his main slayers, the ability to pop off throughout the map, and he just did that with a couple of downs with that Lancer. Really coming through for Praized, I believe, in that situation. They get a few more moments on the hill, 224 to 144. The comeback has started. They are down by 80 points, though. RushieZ looking to shut this next retake down. A couple of bounces come out, not going to be able to get this first shot on. Get the second kill. Praized, Xplosive, working in tandem now. They've got a little bit of a flank here on Icy. Beautiful job there by, I believe that was Powerz coming in from behind, hitting Icy as much as he did, and then Praized getting the final shot. But Powerz, he gets snuck up on there. Not exactly what you need to have happen in that situation. That's one of the best players to have on defense, and he goes down without much of a fight. Praized now is going to try to challenge up on a Detox. Torque bow in the hands. Opposite side of the map of RushieZ. Once again, Avexys will have 5 more bolts to try to get somebody to get clean clocked up or the explosive damage to come through. Detox with an up A onto Kenny, and once again, RushieZ They're not just in the driver's seat, my man. They are flying down the highway.
But are they? You know, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, eUnited, after they were able to last 2 hills, they pretty much have full control over from that team wipe to seeing Rise off the respawn. They've been in a great spot, but now Rise, they finally got their footing once again. They're gonna have 2 torque bowls to work with as well. But eUnited, that was the first team fight they had lost in a while, but quickly off the respawn, Kenny finds a kill. Avexys is pressed forward because of the Lancer angles that eUnited has. Rise has to go forward. Detox and Avexys, they will fall. Icy trying to fight for his life, fight for a kill, buying his teammates time. He does just that. Kenny with a beautiful angle, but RushieZ with a better one as he gets to get time on a hill, keep Kenny back, and he has Icy to work with as well. But with a contested hill and Powerz here towards the mid-map with the angles, he's got to be careful because Rise knows that they cannot let him sit here by himself as they make quick work of him. Now in the moment, Rise, just less than 50 more points needed. We're starting to rotate towards next, and it's going to be a battle between 8 and 4.
Well, Kenny's going to have to hold off 2 players from Rise for a hot moment because he's got 2 players coming in rotation now. And they can get some help over to him, but without that flash catching anybody, they just have to rotate out now. This is a situation that we talk about a lot, and a lot of people don't really understand it to the finest of the degree. 261 to 180. You see how Rise rolled back, played their life, and just lancered out, trying to get that first down. People don't understand. You don't have to just keep pushing the hill. When you got this kind of a lead, you can lancer up. You can put damage out there to try to get some shots onto players to get these kills. Explosive doesn't even get the trade there for his team. That is not going to end up being a good thing for your squad in any way, shape, or form. Powerz misses the knife. He gets the shot out after a third one. Now we have to worry about Icy. Icy in the bottom of the stairs, bounces around, a little bit roll, but the double nade! Double nade!
Nobody's on the hill, but here comes Detox with a bird wrapped in cock. Missed the first shot, but eUnited to get back to the hill in time. Detox doesn't have all the intel in which he needs, but he has the bow. He knows he has to work. He doesn't want eUnited to feel too comfortable in the moment, but he steps up. Eyes set on Explosive, but will he explode? He will not. He soaks up the damage, forces the next shot, and he holds his position. Detox not able to connect with the wall. It was unmovable, but still, in the end, it's eUnited who will not budge, who will not come off this hill. Praized, the bricklayer, looking to build a fortified defense on the stairs, but he's gonna have to take a pistol whip up the side of the head as Rise. They got nothing but scrap time. eUnited already in rotation, and they got a numbers advantage.
Got the numbers advantage here, the backside of the stairwell. Explosive trying to come with that bottom stairs. RushieZ gonna fly at him now that they got the down. That's a beautiful little cleanup for him. That's gonna push the 2 members of eUnited back toward the middle side of the map. Powerz might go on a little flank here. They've got 19 seconds to work with. They've got to get going, though, very quickly. You see them waiting in the wings. Here comes the utilities in the area. Down to just 9 seconds in this last push. Smokes out. Shots on. Lancers heavy. They are going to try to get one more down and try to shut this out. There's the triple nade. There's the map. Rise, they win map number 1 in scintillating fashion. They get all the power weapons, it feels like, and they make good use of them. I can't tell you how many frags and how many bolts connected for Rise, but it was enough to get the dub.
Man, locking in Reactor, map number 1. They get this series kicked off right. Detox 20 kills, Avexys 19 assists. He was at the top of the feed. Kenny worked hard up there as well as the eUnited members, but it was a close one. It was a nail biter. And Rise, they got off to too hot of a start, Colin, for eUnited to be able to inch their way back into this series. And it looked like eUnited was about to do so. They looked good for a second, like it was going to happen, but ultimately Rise was able to slow things down and use that lead in which they built early on to be able to just lock that map in. And it was a must-win for them.
I really think this boils down really to Rise's over rotations early. It allowed them to set up or at least fight back against whatever was set up by eUnited. And of course, I can't say it enough. The power weapon play by Rise, too much to overcome. You can't give up. It was something along the lines of 20 shots with a torque hook, because I believe they got at least 4 of them. So you're looking at 20 bolts to be used by Rise, and I know they had at least 4 fragmentation grenades. But I know they got 1 double kill that helped set off the tone early, and they ended that game off with a triple kill. Just think about how much that comes back to bite you if you do not have, how do I put this? If you do not have the extra power weapon, the extra utility to use in those fights late.
Yeah, no, you definitely need that. You definitely need it when it comes down there towards the late game. You know, ultimately, RushieZ, they were consistent with the weapons in which they had, and it was the power weapon usage for them. I'm in agreement with you, Colin. Now, as we head here into the next map, eUnited, they're going to one of their favorites and check out their staple execution map, one that has consistently came out for them multiple times. They got the best record in the league, I want to say, as well on the map. If they lose this one, things are going to be really scary for them. They have to pull away with this map number 2.
Well, like I said, this is what I think eUnited is doing a lot in their series all this split, all this season, is they're banking to start their role in a lot of these series. If they lose map 1, with that checkout execution, let's win that map 2. Let's take a little bit of their momentum away, and then let's move forward into the escalation and the second control map, and then that final execution. I think this is where that campaign starts. The thing that I'm most concerned for, though, with eUnited is the fact that in a lot of those situations, eUnited was angled out. A lot of times you see players and teams push up into Powerz, push up into Xplosive. That does not work. I guarantee you. Do not, under any circumstance, push those two guys. They are bad men.
Yeah, they're very bad men, right? So on the side of RushieZ, when it comes down to angling out those guys, well, who are you counting on here, okay? Because, you know, when it comes down to Icy, Avexys, RushieZ, and Detox, any of these guys can be slayers. They can be superstars. But we saw it multiple times in that map on who it actually was, because Detox, he is your slayer. He is the guy who you expect to go in there and get those kills and be that powerhouse player. But we saw multiple times Avexys, 19 assists, the most from the team. We know he can go back and forth between playstyles, but also RushieZ takes a selfless role. We call him one of the most annoying players to have to deal with in the game. And you see him in some of these close quarter 1v1s and then back up and pull out a Lancer. So they're both consistently showing eUnited that we're not going to be making all these aggressive pushes on you and play at a fast pace every single time. So you have to expect that and factor that into your decision making. So Avexys and RushieZ doing a good job being able to turn it up when they need to, but also slow the map down when RushieZ needs it the most. As we hear in map number 2, first down comes through for Xplosive. Well, Praized, the first kill comes through for Xplosive as Avexys is taken out as well. eUnited in the 4v2. Icy falls and RushieZ, he's gotta be out of here as well.
All right, Blaze, I gotta say it. Nobody else is gonna say it all weekend long. I'm gonna be the one to say it.
Go for it.
This week, I've actually gotten to ask 2 different players this question. And they're both in this matchup, so it actually is really fitting I get to say this. I got to ask Kenny, and I got to ask Icy, because I got to play with both of them this week at some point. What is up with your character selections? Do you switch it up? Why do you stay with the same character? And I told Kenny specifically, I said, I always loved when Gilbert would play as Uzil Srock, which is who he's playing as because he's a big, beefy boy. Yeah. And I said I loved it because it just felt like there was no respect given, because everybody always assumes the big, beefy boys can't move. They'll get hit with more. All the things that aren't true, it's just because it's in your mind, it'll happen to you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so Xplosive comes out here after that disappointing map number 1 and says, I'm playing as Uzil. I am gonna be the big beefy boy. There ain't nothing y'all can do about it.
Yo, when it comes down to Gears players, hey, we got a lot of superstitions, okay, when it comes down to characters you use at any given moment. But usually the slimmer ones are the characters players go for the most. But those beefy guys, that's him, you know, getting loose, taking some pressure off his shoulders and says, hey, I'm a body you with Rock here, okay? I'm gonna get it done. So we'll see. So far, so good for Xplosive. And, you know, I love seeing the thick boys get some action too as well, Colin. But now Icy is gonna press him back. He's gonna move in there on Praized. His back A isn't able to connect, but in the end, eUnited, they're able to collect on the rest of those kills, and they take round number 2.
eUnited has done a flawless job here playing around what RushieZ is giving them. RushieZ in the last map did that to them, where RushieZ played out. We actually had 2 really good looks at it from both Avexys and Icy, where they took these weird kind of 45 angles, they pushed out onto different players, and they were allowed to Lancer out for a while. You see eUnited playing toward the side of most of RushieZ and not being in the front, not being in that conical front shape of a lot of these Lancer shots. Icy is going to fly across the map at Kenny, catches him sliding back into the cover, and this is what RushieZ needed. They played back into the strength of eUnited. They said, oh, y'all want to play slow on us? Well, let's just fly at you 3 deep across the back of the lanes and see if you got something to answer for it.
Yeah, that was a great play from RushieZ, able to collect up on those kills, get that first blood, get the sniper as well. And they let them know, hey, we can go blow for blow with you. And I think that's what you need out of that round number 3, especially losing round 2 in the way that they did. Just instead of backing up and, you know, taking a step back and playing more reactive or playing more cautious, you do the exact opposite in what eUnited is probably expecting in that moment. And that just keeps things a little bit balanced here, because you don't want to give any unnecessary confidence toward the eUnited. You know, we saw the round 2 taunt in the last series and the 6-1 comeback from their opponent. So during major time, these players take those little in-game antics a little bit personal. You know, rather if it's character selection, aggression, or just play style in a certain moment, they're paying attention to all the details out there. As Gears players have to, because when it comes down to 1v1s and individual movement, your opponent's strafe, those close quarter battles is so important, as we're about to watch one go down here at Electronics. But the disengage is there for Praized. Does not want to give RushieZ a free kill, but we come back over towards Electronics where we're just at our stalemate. We'll see if we make the first move.
So I like the little angle there, cheeky angle by RushieZ all the way across the map onto Xplosive, trying to push him back out. And now Icy's going to push straight up. They get the quick little kill there. Beautiful shot over the cover by Kenny. Kenny, though, full red, has to worry about his life. He's going to get beautifully L-triggered there by Icy. And now in a 3v1, Praized, or 3v2, excuse me. Praized gets one. Praized rolls up on the second. Praized and Xplosive have switched the ties from a 3v2 to a 2v1. Quick, fast, and in a hurry, and as quick as a hiccup now. They're going to 2v1 Icy. They're going to not let Oh, he said Praized. I got this one. Don't worry. Don't even update that corner. You come around that corner, I'm gonna lance you down. I promise you that. I'm gonna pick him up in a second.
I can only imagine the words that came out of Icy's mouth were just his jaw just being dropped in general there in that play, because his 2 teammates got absolutely pressed. Okay, they could not do anything about Praized and Xplosive there. The play came in too quick. The shots were too accurate, and the L triggers from that shotgun were just too powerful. RushieZ couldn't even react with a man advantage, and a great round number 4. Instead, they have to make up for it in the moment. So far, so good. A 3v2 off the back of Detox's double kill. Surely he stays alive. He doesn't go down, but Kenny knows he's weak, so he tries to press him. But Kenny taking some shots in the back. RushieZ gets their second round on the board.
So right there, it basically came down to a battle of the bulls. Detox went across the middle of the map. So did Powerz. They both got that initial lane kill. Xplosive first blooded out for the side of eUnited. Icy first blooded out for the side of RushieZ. When both of them finished that initial fight, they turn and realize that they ran right past the other one, and there's a 1v1. If Detox loses that, 3v2 favor of eUnited. Detox wins it, though, 3v2 favor of RushieZ, and now they have the extra Lancer angle onto the last few remaining members alive of eUnited. Now we're going to see what the answer could be. Beautiful first instance. Second one drops right at the feet of Detox, gets the kill there. 3v4 situation. Powerz looking for a body shot here with a long shot. Not going to be able to find anybody just yet. Trying to find somebody to settle their tea kettle. Here's it. Somebody rolls out behind him through the back checkout lane. I love the little push up there. High Praized just to try to play a little bodyguard action. Beautiful little angles there. 3 players hitting the little hip fire shots. Powerz knows that he's got the extra help, so he goes in a little bit of a skip scab and in a hurry. He just rotates and looks down at the ground before his teammates said, we're gonna let RushieZ join you down there. They take a 4-2 lead, 2 rounds away, Blaze, from tying this up, and this is what I thought they would try to do.
Yeah, you know, so far eUnited, they're in a great spot. I love how Powerz disengages from the fight, just regroups with his teammates, doesn't give up any unnecessary 1v1s, just trying to, you know, create the highlight reel with the scope. Xplosive, second most damage for his team. Best KDA ratio so far. Powerz with 2 big L triggers, puts out the damage on RushieZ, but Avexys gets up. It's the big shot. Detox hits a big one as well. And Praized gets to the fight a bit too late there. That's a quick round for RushieZ that they needed.
I really wanted to see what I think I wish I could hear the thought process of Praized as he's hopping that cover, because he knows he's about to have to take a 3v1 in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But I don't think he expected the long shot to be rotated all the way out to the left side of those checkout lanes, to be waiting for him to drop off that cover. That had to be one of those moments where he was probably feeling himself like, oh, I'm about to body somebody, and then his head just disappears for the rest of the day.
Yeah, and you know what? He keeps it simple, right? He's like, if you hit the shot, you hit the shot, but I know the play I need to make. I need to get kills, and he does it the best way he knows how. But it's Avexys and Detox working together for first blood. Powerz and Kenny trying to work something out wide, but as Kenny falls and Praized shows up to the party a bit late, Powerz finds one, but that wrap shot won't be good enough to get him behind cover and get a kill from RushieZ. We're all tied up 4-4, map number 2. eUnited cannot give up this lead, cannot allow RushieZ to win 3 rounds in a row here, Colin.
I really think that this is one of the things that I think this is one of the things that we've got to be able to take into account for. RushieZ continues to kind of adapt around eUnited. Even here on checkout, where eUnited's been unbelievably strong all weekend long. This is a very scary situation, because if eUnited can't adapt back, if they can't change or evolve their playstyle, they might lose this and go down 2-0. And RushieZ is playing so good that they've even changed up who their player pictures are. Detox is there, represented by Avexys.
RushieZ is the best adaptable team in our league when it comes down to it, and they've showed us time and time again in the pro league just how they evolve throughout a series, throughout a map, especially in control. They're better game mode, but we'll see if they can continue to adapt on this map. They lose the round number 9, but can they get it to the round 11? We're about to find out. So far, RushieZ, they have, when it comes down to it, Detox and Avexys, their focus on Xplosive in his mid lane has been one of the main keys towards their success. Powerz, though, he's been able to do what he wants, rather if it's kind of working out wide, working towards the inside. You got to keep your eye on him and kick this one off as he gets his early flash out. Takes inside, cuts back out. It's Icy with the pickup. The triple revive is there. Well, 3 players together. Free nades for Praized. He's going to be able to get a good cutoff nade and keeps Icy closed off as well. Forces him back into his teammates, and eUnited get a beautiful round number 10 in the books. And they're going to close out map number 2, 6-4. eUnited says, hey, folks, we will not go down without a fight. What a close map, too. And we expect nothing less in this series, folks. When we come back, we're going to be headed on over towards Harbor on Escalation to see who can get control of this series. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gear Summer Major. I'm Blaze, joined with Colin. And once again, we got another series all tied up 1-1 as we head into map number 3. Will we get another game 5 with eUnited? With RushieZ? Oh, only time will tell, but so far, Colin, it's looking like we could go the distance, but we got to get through Harbor first.
We got to get through Harbor first. And hey, look, before you sail out to sea, sometimes you got to take a pit stop at the harbor. And I know both of these teams would like to find themselves at the end of Sunday riding off into the sunset like they were going to Valinor in the Immortal Lands off of Tolkien's world, but right now they find themselves knee-deep in the trenches like they were in the middle of Helm's Deep. They have got to figure out how to win this map 3, take advantage of this series, and take it into the second half, and I think it's going to start once again with the Slayers. You saw in that map, Detox, the rounds that he was able to kind of get loose through the middle of the map, able to stay alive long enough, gave them the advantage. It gave RushieZ a decided advantage. Whereas when Detox got picked off early or was caught off guard and sent to a different location than his normal spot, it was an easy eUnited round. So things are starting to rest solely on his shoulders. I hope that's not too much pressure for that man to take, but I know he's got big shoulders. He might be able to handle it.
Yeah, he may be able to handle it as well, man. He loved putting the pressure of his team on his back and to come through for him is something that drives him a lot. But we got Harbor and we got District Control as our next 2 maps loading up. And so Harbor, I think it's RushieZ's best escalation map out of our 3, Colin, but eUnited may be the best escalation team, if not top 2 in our league when it comes down towards the game mode. Also, Harbor's a map in which they haven't lost in, I want to say, the last 2 and 3 series in which they played in. What is RushieZ going to have to excel at if they want to take down eUnited right here in this moment?
Right now, eUnited, and especially based on their last 3 or 4 performances on Harbor, have the best 1-2 punch in the middle of the map. They've got Powerz at the winch, backed up by a guy named Xplosive, and then, of course, Kenny Bounce has made the Stern his home, and he's living there rent-free. He doesn't own it. He's just renting it. It belongs to the Coalition, but he is there rent-free, baby.
Yeah, you know, he's always keeping tabs on his tenants, making sure that they upkeep the maintenance as well. Got to pull that horn every now and then. But when it comes down to the initial of this round, it is going to be RushieZ with multiple kills coming through. Xplosive trying to run away, reposition. Praized is going to find eUnited a hill to work with, and that's going to give eUnited the slight lead to be able to position themselves in the map where they want, but also not have to play into RushieZ's hand immediately after RushieZ winning the initial. They still have to be the offensive squad here.
I like this from Kenny. He goes to the middle cut of the map. He's going to try to get shots on a Detox. Detox, a little red, moves into the B hill. He has to bounce around. He can stay there for the decap, but look at the extra help coming in now. They've rotated 2 players down. 1 player is going to challenge up onto Xplosive. Xplosive has a 1v1 at their home against RushieZ. RushieZ has an option right here and a chance to back off of this fight and try to pull Xplosive back out of that spawn area. He's holding down that cubby corner, but that was a 3rd down now. That gets him killed off. Kenny goes down in the middle of the map here. Praized tries to slide in to help him out. That's a quick couple of kills, and that might be the opening for the triple cap domination that they need here. Detox, he knows he can stay wild with a Lancer and make him die. Xplosive is going to try to rotate in to see, but this is what everybody needs to learn when you play eUnited on Harbor. If you can win that initial winch and stern, you can spread them out enough. They can't wolfpack the way that they've been able to and really dominate these games the way that they wish to. Praized, he had to win an initial 1v1 just to keep them in the round. That is something that eUnited can rely on, but the thing that they try to win these rounds on is winch and stern. If RushieZ continue to win the middle of the map, this might be a chance for RushieZ to win this map 3.
Yeah, RushieZ got to keep eUnited working throughout the map, and if they are able to win that initial, from there, if you can keep their players staggered, force eUnited to have to continue to play offense. Now, eUnited offense is something they don't mind playing, because even when they're down, their offense is so strong. Sometimes we see them convert some of the most trip cap dominations out there, but they still need to be in that mindset, you know, and not feel too comfortable in defensive stances on the map. Now, RushieZ is going to be able to pick up a kill, both squads finding first blood. Kenny for eUnited, and they're going to trade off winch and stern. eUnited, they have the height, but with these players coming off respawn, it's going to be Avexys and Powerz. Where do they go? Which gap will they fill in? Now Powerz gets a Botox, but now RushieZ knows that they're going to have a slight man advantage for a brief second, but there's not much in which they can work with. They are able to keep Powerz back, but for how long?
That's a great down. RushieZ is going to have to get picked here, but Detox might have pulled Xplosive into the fight. Good little meat shield play here, but the trade comes through. Again, though, a second down comes out. 2v3 on the map right now, and eUnited needs to try to use this to their advantage to get across the map or get to a secondary hill. Powerz is going to go down there. Kenny's trying to pull up onto RushieZ. Gets the kill here. Praized, trying to bait Icy out of his spot. And Icy's not giving it up either, and Icy might get some help from the backside of the hill in just a moment. Kenny, a lot of little annoying damage there on Detox.
And he just needed a little bit to make that L trigger do that much more work over the top and be able to get him that chunk that he wanted and that he did acquire. So eUnited with positions at winch and stern, B hill under their control as well. They're going to allow RushieZ to walk into this open B hill area, but RushieZ knows that they cannot take the bait with Powerz in this position. You got to find some way to get him out. That's going to be Detox's job. RushieZ going to have to help him. How do you occupy Powerz there on that side of the map? Or do you just force your teammates to have to make a play at B? But eUnited says, yo, you guys are playing scared. We can smell the fear. We can smell you not trying to take advantage. So you know what? We're going to press you and push to dominate you, as RushieZ gave eUnited enough time to form another offensive play to push RushieZ back just a bit more.
So this is the interesting setup right here. You see how they're spread across the map. All 4 players about 20, 30 yards away from each other. A little bit further than you'd probably like to try to rotate in to help somebody. But Kenny has the extra angle here and the extra help from Powerz. And those are 2 of the most accurate players on the planet. Coming straight up that ramp is never going to end well for you. I guarantee it, one way or the other. This is a great great round here by eUnited. They're going to finish this off. They're going to try to get this thing to, start being dominated by them, just like that round 2 was. They tie it up 1-1.
What's alarming for me in that round is just RushieZ not able to force a play, right? After they lost the Stern control, they got their players off respawn. They were 4 alive, but they just could not find a way to kind of push forward and distract the players that went to Stern the way that they needed to. In the end, it was going to be a hard play to make, but still a play needed to be made there by RushieZ. But instead, eUnited pushed through, got the kills in which they needed, and staggered them out there towards the late game. eUnited, they're going to put some frags down bottom mid. RushieZ gets the chance to rebuttal. Do they use this opportunity to go for a centerline power weapon? No. They say, hey, we'll take this opportunity to build up our secondaries up top. We'll see what they choose to want to go there, because eUnited can easily put those shot grenades down low at B if they want to, just to kind of stop RushieZ from building up that placement. But instead, they will get an incinerator grenade. So eUnited still has that choice to make on which they want to block RushieZ, what nade they want to block them from getting for free. But off the start, you see the aggression from RushieZ, having a backup explosive in Powerz. Powerz now having to take this over-the-cover battle, get an angled out from 2 different sides, but RushieZ almost caught slipping, and he was in the end, but a quick revive is there. Detox has his back. Xplosive steps up. He needs Powerz to alleviate some pressure, but Powerz can't do it quick enough. Instead, does he go for the revive? Does he go for the fight? He loses the fight, and now Avexys disengages. Kenny is next on RushieZ's hit list.
I was going to say, if eUnited won that fight, it's because of how unselfish Kenny is. Kenny actually put himself in the most dangerous position possible, because what Kenny was doing was backing off of his pillar, going to the edge of that stairwell, those baby steps, and getting an angle because of the elevation and the difference. Getting an angle on those 2 players on that mid-winch fight for RushieZ, and that was what got that original down. If they had won that fight, it was because of the fact that Kenny was playing unselfish. That round, though, it is strictly won by the fact that, without a doubt, RushieZ held court, bottom winch, and wins it. Those are the things that people have to understand. When you play against eUnited, you have to win that mid fight. You cannot let Powerz dictate the pace of this game.
Man, and he was doing it there. You see how closely he is able to play that cover at the winch, just staying in cover and putting out damage equally, dodging shots. So Powerz is able to do it all there, but I expect nothing less from him playing that position for as long as he has, probably throughout 2 different versions of Gears. Now, as we kick off this round, RushieZ, he has similar experience to Powerz in his position. Now he is going to have that right hand advantage. Detox versus Xplosive over the cover. Avexys versus Kenny up top. RushieZ couldn't get the shot that he wanted. Detox moved in to help. eUnited moved closer towards the inside. Some shots coming from the top portion of the map, just a little bit. But RushieZ is able to hold this angle. He takes control. Avexys is getting pressed, but he's not running too far away. Kenny Xplosive, they find 2. Detox is not much he can do in this moment. In the end, eUnited, they win the team fight.
That's one of the things, again, in execution that worried me, is I didn't see a lot of change out of eUnited. I didn't see them try to evolve their playstyle or adapt it. And what I saw them do right there is they actually grabbed, oh my goodness, a good job there picking up the shock. I don't know if they're going to pick him up as a meat shield, if they're going to let him bleed out and lose their own utility weapon. And they do. Xplosive doesn't get killed off, so they don't have their shock now. eUnited, though, they actually changed up what they were doing. Instead of staying at the winch, they sent Xplosive to the top, which allowed them to 2v1 the player at the top, bully him out, and then kill off the winch players. Those are great mid-round adjustments, and Blaze, you know this better than anybody, coming from execution, just like with guys like Xplosive who have that execution, and Kenny who have that execution background. They know how important those mid-round adjustments really are and what kind of a difference they can make.
They do. They make a lot. And that's why you got to be gathering intel round after round. And the reason why, when it comes down towards execution escalation, some teams are going to be better at those game modes versus control. Control will be their weakest, only because of that reset that you get after a round, to be able to come out with a new strategy, collect intel, and be able to talk to your teammates and have that, just that brief breath before you have to get back into the chaos. And it makes a huge difference. And when it comes down to the players on eUnited, they know how to make those adjustments quickly. But as I said in that last map, I think RushieZ, when it comes down to it, they're one of our better teams in the league. But so far, as we're all tied up 1-1, and RushieZ is up in this map number 3, Powerz is able to find himself a kill. Wasn't able to take down RushieZ, but with RushieZ staying alive, he will be able to buy his team some time to come off the respawn and get some better positioning if he doesn't get flanked here by Kenny.
2-1 hill cap here. Xplosive is trying to keep that far right angle to stop players from getting back into this fight. Mid-range control has to get pressured here shortly. They cannot leave that in the hands of RushieZ if they want to try to hold on to this B hill. Up over 200 points, less than 20 seconds now. eUnited's going for a little bit of a turtle defensive stand right here. Good pistol shots by Xplosive. Has a lot of damage here. Misses the back A, though. Look at the Lancer fire. It's keeping Praized in check. They're going to have that player back up toward the hill, try to get into it to maybe try to get that decap, but won't be able to get it. Not enough time, not anywhere in the right spot. That'll be the fourth round in the favor of eUnited. We go into the half, tied up 2-2, and the hills are going to flip.
You know, one thing that eUnited does so well is that when they are able to, have these leads going into the later portions of these rounds, every single player knows how to disperse in a way where they make the last portions of the game super chaotic and force their opponent to have to make these perfect plays. And an example of that last round was Powerz overextending towards that home hill and forcing a 1v1. Not allowing RushieZ to be able to focus down low on the docks to be able to help out Icy and Detox the way in which they wanted to. That was more of just a squared up 2v2 fight down low for eUnited. That's the reason why they were able to defend that B hill as well as they did. But it just comes down to every player in eUnited doing something to alleviate pressure for another teammate. It all comes together, and their opponent really just kind of feels helpless in those moments. Now, here we go. RushieZ, can they get another round on the board and keep the score line going back and forth between these two squads? Avexys, he's getting focused by 2 players. He doesn't know it just yet, but his focus is all on Kenny. Can't clean up the kill because he knows he has to get the second, but surely he cleans up the third. But 3 players down. He says all 3 of you can think about what you've done, as with that triple kill, does Icy manage to push across. Avexys should be able to get an angle on Praized, but instead he's just going to slow it down, give his teammates some time to come off the respawn, but he may be out of position now.
Well, Avexys is going to pull to the backside of this. He's going to throw the shock to stop anybody from pushing it straight down that hill at him. And he's going to try to go for this extra angle with the snub. He forces Avexys into a bad spot. Avexys tries to return fire. Good job to stay alive as long as he did, but him going down actually opens things up for a 3v2 here. Detox throws a frag. Powerz is going to rotate around. Frag grenade will split Kenny and Powerz. No damage on either of them now. Detox is actually going here for a rotation to try to help his teammate, who has won a 1v1 on the opposite side of the map. 2v2 top side of the E hill now. Gonna be on top winch. Good back A out by Powerz. Looking for the second shot. Not gonna be able to find a body, but Kenny's there. Cape on and everything. Playing Superman. Don't worry though. Icy, like he's hunting werewolves, has a magnum full of silver bullets, and one of them has got your name on it. He took a head off clean out of Praized. Flash by Xplosive, trying to push back against the tide here of Icy. This could get sticky though, because 3 players from RushieZ already mounted up, going back toward E.
Icy versus his old 2 teammates in Praized and Xplosive. They retiring after this event, but Icy doesn't care. He wants to give him one more L. Want to repay the favor to him one more time, but he gets jumped down low at the home hill. And now RushieZ's home hill will go in favor of eUnited. But RushieZ, they win the battle up top. What is that going to get them? Gets them map control. It's going to get them some extra firepower up top as well. But if eUnited can successfully lock in this 2-1 hill setup, I don't know what RushieZ can do. eUnited needs some extra Lancer fire to be poured over here to help out Praized and Xplosive. Because RushieZ, they've taken a lot of time to clean up these 2 kills. eUnited, they've gotten the help in which they need it, and it's been oblivious to RushieZ, as RushieZ is just taking their time trying to angle out these players. They do have the lead, but we'll see if they can stay composed as eUnited on the offense. Oh no, that absolutely can't happen. Surely he doesn't get 2 kills. He finally goes down, but the D hill went in favor of eUnited, and that's going to be able to get them the B hill. Well, sorry, the E hill up top. But with us being in a late game, RushieZ may be okay with just having both home hills, and I'm pretty sure they will be.
E-Hill getting capped up now by eUnited, but I don't believe it's going to be enough in this situation. You got to get all the way across the side of the map to get a triple neutralization. RushieZ, they take the first round of the second half. They go up 3-2, find themselves 2 rounds away from going up 2-1 in the series, and this is what I thought they needed to do. They had to be able to sneak one of those two middle games from either checkout or this harbor to try to win this, because the controls are what they have their faith in. They look for that to be kind of their two maps, and they got to find a third across either execution or that escalation. I thought they needed to steal one of these two in the middle of the map, and if they can get this one, they put themselves in the best possible place.
And they still got Clock Tower, map 5. If we do go to distance, and we know how talented RushieZ is on that map, you can almost say that, you know, they may have even set the meta when it comes down to how it's been played in Gears of War 5, especially with Detox's aggression on the pillar and Avexys support from the whole spot. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, as Powerz is looking to get ahead of the curve. Wasn't able to get a good shot, but that defensive shot will connect. The back A will not. Quick revives come through for RushieZ. Avexys wasn't able to get the wrap shot, but he will slither his way out of that position, waiting for help coming from his teammates. Kenny with the E-Hill locked in. He knows he can at least take one more to the grave. Who is it going to be? Got some great shots in on these RushieZ members, but ultimately in the end, it's RushieZ who will be able to lock in his E-Hill and keep control over their home hill.
They need to, hi, Powerz. I don't know what's going on with you, bud, but that's water. I don't know if you want to go fishing. That's water.
You know, maybe he's a little hungry right now.
Pretty sure we're gonna have a. A 4-2 here. They're gonna melee Powerz down here. I believe we're gonna have a little bit of a disconnect, maybe a lag out right here by Powerz, but they're gonna have to play this one out. This round has started. There's no reason. They've all had a full set of initial fights here. Off of the respawn is where Powerz went down, so we'll find out what's going on here momentarily. But at least for now, I would say, Blaze, you just let the time stack up if you RushieZ. It's not like eUnited is going to challenge you anywhere with 3 players, and there's no reason for you to let them decap the hills. It's still a major tournament. You still got to just let this round run.
Yep, and that's unfortunate for eUnited, but in the end, I think the sportsmanship of RushieZ is not playing for the trip cap domination and just giving Powerz all the time he needs to come back. Say, hey, you know, he comes back, we give you guys a chance at the round. You guys can fight for it if you want to, but we got the extra guy, and eUnited says, hey, we're going to play for E. Kitty up top trying to decap it. And RushieZ is like, hold up, it's not that sweet. They say this is our round at the end of the day, and we're going to make sure we collect on it.
That's a hey man moment. It ain't over. Hey man, what are you doing?
Like, hey, it ain't that fun. Don't think you just decap. And he's just trying to buy his team some extra time casually, decapping the heels. Like, hey, if I could buy us 3 more seconds, Avexys like, yo, don't you touch that. I will shoot you in the back right now. He says, I tried to warn you. But they're going to give him the whole remaining 15 seconds. At the end of the day, we have the pause feature, and we got the reset round feature as well that we can use into the next. So round number 7 will be clean, but so far throughout this series, Colin, we're all tied up 1-1. We're 6 rounds deep, and this was a must-win for RushieZ, and it's unfortunate that they get the round 6 win in a fashion which they do, but they're in a great spot to win this series, especially with District and Clock Tower coming up next.
Hi, my name is Icy, and I only have 1 kill, but we're leading eUnited 4-2. And I would like you to know that I'm very scary for that. And if you wanted to hear that in the crispiest, cleanest, most easy way possible, it's because I was speaking directly into my blue microphone, my baby bottle to be exact. And if you want to get the official mic partner of Gears Esports, make sure you get on over to bluemic.com, raise your voice, and show off just how crispy and clean it can sound.
Raise your voice so you can sound as good as me and Colin when we're dropping the bars, casting some Gears Esports action as we head here into round number 7. RushieZ initial flash out. He's going to connect with it. Powerz has to hold off. He's going to try to L-trigger around that cover to dodge the nade. Can't do it, but Kenny can get first blood. And now eUnited with all the confidence in the world. Maybe a little bit too much as Detox finds himself a kill. He's going to be in a 1v2. Only momentarily. He's waiting for help from his teammate to come in, but the flames prove to be too much.
Icy has to back out and back down. They're going to get the triple cap domination right here, right now. Try to get it to 4-3. They get it to go. I'll tell you this. That is a scary sight for RushieZ. They can't lose this next round. Going into a round 9 against eUnited, if they're feeling themselves especially, woo,
They can't lose this one. They cannot lose this one, Colin. But we'll see as we head here going into the next. So far, eUnited, they were the first team to be able to put that center line power weapon down in the frag grenades, and they love being able to move around it this time. They will block out their opponent's shock. Incendiary grenades were already built up on the map, and RushieZ is going to counter that placement as well with a shock of their own. If we do go towards the round 9, RushieZ will be able to have that last weapon placement to put down something if they want something center line or to keep it basic. We'll see what their thought process is, but that's if we go there. RushieZ looking to end it now. RushieZ will get around the winch for free, but eUnited, as they're trying to quickly cap up the E-Hill, they don't have it locked in just yet. Finally, just now, Xplosive trying to back up, play a little bit more defensive, but there's a lot of damage coming out from RushieZ here. They have this hill surrounded. Powerz will be able to create an opening, and now eUnited can play for their opponent's home hill and play for a few of these remaining kills spread out on the map. 2 downs, another 1v1. He dodges the first, make sure he cleans up the second. No, RushieZ pulls up with the triple kill.
RushieZ with that 3 kills will get them back into this round very quickly because 2-to-1 hill cap, 2 points to 1 point per second. That's going to get them right back into this, maybe 5 to 10 seconds at most. See them trying to mount up, coming toward the top side of the map. Avexys, they'll have here at the winch. Let's see where they decide to push this, because I think one of the things that people need to understand is that is a very good angle to have for Detox. If you come straight down that hallway, no smoke, no flash, that's pretty much a guaranteed down. Powerz trying to stage with the backside of the E-Hill. Here comes the flash. They're going to try to just angle out RushieZ. He's going to run away as fast as he can. Detox comes up the small steps, gets 1. Now going for Xplosive, almost has 2 on the reaction. Xplosive misrolls, gets taken down as he comes up. And that'll be another solidified defensive stand at the E-Hill for RushieZ. And RushieZ now, they are well within the right to try to go for this triple cap domination and finish this map off and go up 2-to-1 going into the second half of this series.
It's looking like they may do just that, folks, as nobody is contesting the E-Hill, and the home hill of eUnited currently being decapped. RushieZ, they come through and they take map number 3, Harbor, which was a must-win for them. Colin talked about how they had to win one of these middle maps if they wanted a chance in this series. And they're going to do just that here on the Escalation, and which was no easy feat, because as of late, eUnited has been on fire with Escalation, and this has been one of RushieZ's struggles out there. In the end, Harbor, it's their best Escalation map, and they showed us why.
I mean, without a doubt, I think this is one of those things that will go forward in the rest of this tournament, and people are going to have to really take note of. The way that RushieZ was able to play this map, I think, is very telling about how they're going to play it against a lot of teams. The angles that they took, the way that they went outside of the hills, and instead of going into the circles, they played a lot around the circles. They were giving up those early takes by Kenny. They were giving up those early hill takes by Praized, and came back in the rounds to get those kills back by playing around those players. And I think that's what cannot be underestimated, and what that shows RushieZ is capable of.
Yeah, it shows a lot, man. RushieZ's adaptability, them being able to get it done here, that could win them a tournament, okay? And it's probably something that they were missing out on towards the last event as well, because they've kind of grown that adaptability. Should be able to allow them to close out a few more maps than normal, showing that they have done their practice here towards the off season. So far, man, RushieZ looking good in this series, Colin. They got control over it. Now we head on over towards District. This is, when it comes down towards the control maps, RushieZ is good on all 4. Let's just leave it at that, okay? They're going to be good on all 4 maps out there. Spire may be their least best map out there. That's probably one I'll put more in favor of eUnited. And I'm pretty sure during the picks and bans, RushieZ knew that to make sure they got that map out the cycle quickly. But on the flip end, RushieZ should be feeling super comfortable going into these last 2 maps. What does eUnited need to do to get back control over the series, Colin?
Well, I have actually seen eUnited be very good at District, and they are normally good at District when they're able to control the verticality of the map. And what I mean by that is, if you look at District, it's built long ways. It's not built across. It's very stubby. It's very tall. I think one of the things that people have to be keep in consideration when it comes to eUnited is they play the verticality of the map. They get on the north and south of you, and they pinch you out. They force you out of the juice and the info into the middle of the battlefield, and then they take you down. If you are RushieZ, you need to be able to stop them from having that control of the map. You've got to play the verticality. You've got to keep them on the back foot, because those verticality lanes are the lanes that have helped RushieZ win maps 1 and 3, because they played around certain areas instead of directly into the teeth of eUnited. So what eUnited does best on this map, RushieZ is now going to have to take away. It's like having to get your best corner on the best wide receiver and play man-to-man defense and hope to God you don't get burned.
And man, when it comes down to gears, if your initial strategy is counter to things aren't working, man-to-man is going to be the way to go, okay? Find you somebody on a map, keep a Lancer over his head, keep him marked, keep that intel out to your team until the play is revealed. Okay, until you can find your numbers, until you can be able to get in and get that power position so you can get to the objective. But step number 1 is, counting numbers and making sure that they stay in your squad's favor, and you guys can work together to make these kills come through a little bit easier. But regardless of which side you're a fan of, each of these teams is going to have a difficult time picking up these kills, because their opponent, man, does not want to lose. Okay, this is eUnited versus RushieZ, folks. Two organizations who have been battling out and entertaining us for God knows how long at this point, okay? Throughout the last few seasons, throughout the last few splits, and they are here to do it once again here in the Swiss stage. And it may not be the last time we see these two squads play together as we kick off our championship bracket tomorrow. We expect to see them both. But who can get the first lick in? It's map number 4 district, eUnited versus RushieZ, and Powerz. He's going to be flashed back just a bit, but that allows Praized to step in, put out some damage, be the focus of attention to allow Powerz to get in and not get a kill. He couldn't, well, actually, he's still in the fight, and he can get a kill because Kenny and Praized, they were the first two to go down, but Powerz, as he's the last one standing, he's going to have to keep that hill neutral. I see the cojones on him to get the boom shot and get out, Colin.
He knew that Xplosive couldn't push him because of the player and the info. Xplosive had to stay where he was or further back to his side because of the fact that he would have either gotten boomed or he would have gotten Lancer down from the inside of the info. This hill still being neutralized is a good sign for eUnited. They're still fighting over it. Powerz gets one. RushieZ still alive on the hill. Plays out toward the back. Here comes Icy with the boom. One shot, one rocket in his pocket. He's going to use it on Powerz. No way you don't use this here to try to get at least this first kill. Beautiful job. I think that's what you have to do. You shut him down. Now you put Kenny into a 2v1. Kenny back A's on the RushieZ and gets a quick headshot there on the reaction on Icy. You can't expect that. Look, at the end of the day, if you're playing in that situation, Blaze, I believe that's the correct play call. You're Icy, you use the boom to make it a 2v1, and then you try to bully the other player. Kenny, you don't like bullies, and he will shut you down quick, fast, and in a hurry, and he did just that. Good kudos to Kenny Bounce right there.
We're rotating towards arcade. Bottom right of your mini map. eUnited set up. Praized, Xplosive, Kenny. They all got each other's back. Xplosive may back up here just a bit more. Allow Kenny to kind of stay, sorry, not Kenny, but Powerz to stay hidden in that position. Kenny's actually going to be at the top portion of the map. Secret Manning trying to get a nice flank on these Juice players, but chooses the right opportune time to throw RushieZ off guard, throw those RushieZ members off guard in the Juice fight. In the end, Xplosive wasn't able to focus fire with Kenny in time, but he still has help close by to be able to clean up those kills, and eUnited will continue to collect time off of arcade and get the incendiary grenades.
Yeah, here we go, pulling into the middle of the fight. This is what I was talking about. You see how RushieZ is rotating to the top side of the map. They're playing the verticality up. They're trying to get to these angles where they can go up and down. eUnited has called it out, though. They've played very well up to the top side of this map. They've got both of these players kind of stuck. Kenny tries to rotate in to help his teammate. Once again, finds himself in a 2v1. Twice now. Actually, I would say more than twice. I don't want to really count how many times it's happened across the first 3 maps. But to me, Powerz has gotten a little bloodthirsty at times. He gets a little over-aggressive, and he puts himself in a bad situation. And granted, he is the Shinigami. He can control his own life and death at times. But a lot of the times, you put yourself in a bad spot, you're going to go down, and then you put your teammate in a bad spot.
Yeah, and that's it's that part right there. This the second half, the ladder, putting your teammates in a bad spot. That's why you have to be selfless in a lot of these fights and choose them wisely. In the end, you know, eUnited has always been able to play off of Powerz' aggression, but in that moment, in this moment, RushieZ's defense was ready for whatever. They're going to be able to hold down ATM. They also was able to acquire the new boom shot and the new incendiary grenades as well. So looking to see how much of that util they have left. They still got the boom shot in the hands of Detox. Didn't see him shoot it just yet. And the Avexys may still have some incendiary grenades to work with. But eUnited, they're going to stack 3 players towards the front. I don't think RushieZ is ready for it. And it's a good smoke. But the flame grenades is going to be able to block off a player just for now. But that inside route is still there.
And he backs off. He had a little cubby corner there that he could keep the hill neutralized on. Flash is going to be out into Detox's face. Praized is going to rotate straight up into him. Beautiful movement by Detox will shut him right down. And as dominant as these first couple of hills were for eUnited, where they rotated around, stayed alive, and were able to win a bunch of these team fights, RushieZ is right back into this with a great retake and a secondary defensive stand here at this ATM hill. And now you're going to see RushieZ fly to the bottom of the map, try to set up and get ready for this P4. Try to make sure that nobody from eUnited gets set up too well. I think the power player right now is Avexys. He'll have the angle down here toward Praized. He's in the middle of the map. You can see him, player number 4, looking down the middle of the map. He had everybody sighted up, so you couldn't stay in a bandstand. That is a completely undeniable position. You have to have control of it so that you can force teams into a bad spot. RushieZ on a huge flank gets one. The turn and burn there by Avexys. They have another boom shot. They have mid-map control. This is starting to get ugly for eUnited.
Yeah, it is. They're trying to fight their way through this position, but RushieZ Gear found themselves a nice double boom there for him and his squad. They got tabs on the remaining 2 players as well. They'll be able to use their numbers to push back one and use their numbers to be able to angle out Xplosive and keep these devs staggered for eUnited. And this is what I was talking about in the harbor map, and we're seeing it here in control. eUnited not able to come off respawn, find their footing. You want them to keep thinking. You want them to continue to be the offensive squad and having to make these difficult plays. And so as they finally have all 4 alive, they're going to have to commit to this push soon. But RushieZ is so successful early on, they'll continue to have this util to work with. The incendiary comes up short. But here at the inside stairs, it should be able to work out for them, pushing multiple players back at eUnited, and RushieZ will continue to be able to collect on time. Detox trying to bait out his teammate and not get baited himself, but in the end, eUnited, they get all 4 players on this side of the map, and they're looking for these last 2 kills.
Yeah, they're trying to solidify 1 or 2 more kills before they rotate toward the top right side of the map. 50 seconds to go on that boom. 50 seconds on the incendiaries at the bottom as well. Powerz is going to get called out. Little roadie strafe there. Gets him inside of that cubby at the tree. Tries to rotate straight up. Goes to the back A there onto Avexys. Explosive goes down once again. Quick little answer though from eUnited. You see, I believe it's Kenny flying in. He gets 1. They help get the 2nd as well. Actually, Kenny gets 2 of them. Back side of the map. Praized will get 1. And now it looks like they're going to start setting up this next boom shot. They have players in multiple sides of the map. Going to be a 1v1 at the bottom unless Kenny is set up for a 1v against the Avexys. Yeah, 2 players in the juice, but I'm not sure why you're leaving Explosive all by his lonesome there. You have the Lancer angle from the juice, which is really the only saving grace at this point.
Well, yeah, but, you know, when it comes down to it, if he backs up and allows RushieZ to move in, all those players from the juice, they'll have the angles from the window. So, yeah, the hill can get broken, but as long as he stays backing up, putting out that damage and plays it defensively, it'll set the trap for RushieZ if they wanted to move into the hill. But instead, you know, you got eUnited. Step number 1, just fortifying the middle. Forcing RushieZ to the outsides, whether if it's down low or up top, and Kenny was able to find him a kill down low. And at this moment, RushieZ has just been staggered throughout the majority of this Pergola hill, and they're just going to have to set up for next.
And they've actually rotated the boom shot back here to next. Detox is going to have the snub, and he's going to have 1 player here to help him. Avexys and Detox. Anybody they shut down coming in early, if they get it down, they can bait that double kill out with the boom. Flash out by Icy. He's going to try to push back into this cinema area. Good shots and a down by Explosive. Now they're going to push up here onto Avexys. 3v1 there at the top side of the map toward the ATM. Detox will have 1 rocket in his pocket. Kenny, 1 incendiary. He's going to block off the other exit. He's going to shoot that 1 rocket to get the kill there onto Kenny. Powerz will have the top side of the stairs to try to play a little bit of defense here and force players to push up into him.
Now, Explosive trying to guard info. He's going to have a little bit of help coming from Fountain, as they will be able to angle down Avexys, but back towards the spawn. RushieZ, they're running rampant. They've been back here defending this hotel hill. They haven't moved down low towards the stairs. You see some initial damage come through, but Kenny not able to clean up the kill. Praized makes it through from info. He's going to have Explosive with him, but Detox coming from the back spawn, perfectly timed pinch with Icy. RushieZ will continue to collect on this hill, but 2 members from eUnited, they will get the ATM spawn, make it 3, but they won't have the... They won't be able to get on the same page quick enough, Kyle, for them to be able to have an impact on the remaining time.
No, not at all. And Detox with a quick little revive there on Icy. They're going to drop Praized right in front of everybody. They're still up by 20 points here. Powerz a little emote there, letting him know that he knows he's down and dead here momentarily. Next player is pushing up into this situation. Going to try one more time, but they're going to actually get shut out here in the middle of the map.
That's a huge double.
I mean, this is what is worrying, though. It's a 30-point differential. That is a huge double, but RushieZ is set up already in the cinema, and they have the new boom shot. Even if Avexys goes down, they had somebody there for the quick pick on him. Detox, inside of the info, has the angle. First player will get shut down, and this is that bad situation. Now you have to push in because you can't let RushieZ get up over 200 points again. You can't give them the same kind of advantage they had in map number 1, or they're going to take it straight to the bank.
Now RushieZ, as they're feeling comfortable in the late game, a few power weapons to work with as well. Well, no more boom shot. We saw it just get utilized a second ago. Both incendiaries just came out for eUnited. The hill just contested. RushieZ trying to get Explosive out that corner so they can keep collecting on time. RushieZ dodges the third shot, and that puts the advantage in RushieZ's favor. Surely eUnited gets that kill. Something different's happening there in the moment, but RushieZ just trying to take down as many as they can, keep eUnited back on the side of the map as far away from the hill as they possibly can. And so far, they're doing a great job, but Detox and Avexys, they're going back to the respawn, and eUnited knows that this is their opportunity to move up. But that pistol from Explosive, RushieZ didn't move too much either. He turns around, hits a big shot on Powerz, keeping his position. The revive is there for his teammate. Him and Icy doing everything that they can to just stay alive, trying to buy time for Avexys and Detox to get there, but eUnited just too swift. They're going to be able to collect on the remaining 20 seconds. RushieZ in a great spot. They're going to move down to the bottom of arcade. eUnited is going to take the spawn side.
eUnited is going to have to fight back down the hill. This is the second time, though, we've seen this situation, because what I'm worried about right here is the fact that eUnited on the opposite side, over toward that hotel, had the same kind of elevated position, and they were able to pressure out some players, but then they got absolutely rotated on and just put down quick, fast, and in a hurry. Kenny's trying to find one player to maybe bully. RushieZ is going to push out behind him. I don't think Kenny knows that he's there. RushieZ waited. The patience on RushieZ is unbelievable. Patience
crazy,
is
right?
I'm telling you, patience is a virtue, and my man RushieZ is just trying to get into heaven day 1. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, if we went to Gears of War 4, right, and we had to give him any criticism, okay, he was a super slayer back then, it would have been maybe his patience, right? But, you know, ever since he got on that reciprocity squad and played with some of the greats out there, his gameplay is just slowly evolved and smoothed out all those rough edges around his aggressive gameplay and become one of the best players in our league. And now we're seeing how he's being a nuisance in the late game, okay? Trying to just lock this map number 4 in for RushieZ, get them this victory, this 3-1 over eUnited. As so far, so good. RushieZ needs 40 more points. They can't win off this hill, and we will be heading on over towards ATM soon. eUnited knows this is their last team fight at the arcade. As they move in, try to get whatever scrap time they can. Icy with the beautiful setup.
Good night.
Double incendiary kill. He's collecting on that scrap time. This is eUnited's last chance to be perfect. They have to get to ATM now, and it starts with this kill on Avexys.
Detox is already inside of ATM. He's going to Lancer out just a little bit. Quick little flash out. Detox is going to bounce up toward Praized. Praized has to hop the cover and try to get back out of there. Beautiful little 90-degree angle out by, I believe, Icy. Detox goes down on the steps. Icy still holding court. A lot of damage will go forth. Coming out of the info now. If RushieZ can win this in the middle of the map, that will give them a good chance to come back into this, but they rotate wide onto Icy. Icy, though, with 2 huge downs. He's got help over the top. 3 players from eUnited in the area. They keep going down. They're not able to clean up these kills. RushieZ is just playing so well together in this situation. Finally, they shut it down, but RushieZ inside of the hill. 7 seconds to go. Up A from Detox. He's got RushieZ right next to him. It's going to be all over. Nothing but crying. Nothing but a buzzer beater. It's not going to come through. RushieZ, they will win it in 4 maps. So not all 5 maps on Friday. We're going to get shut down 1 map early by RushieZ. They take it 3-1 over eUnited.
RushieZ, they come out on top in I want to say probably one of the first times in which we see these two teams play up against each other throughout the weekend, and getting that first lick in is something that's very, very crucial. RushieZ, they're going to be able to build up their confidence slowly but surely. This is a big win for them in group play, Colin. Congratulations to them for winning this series 3-1. And man, they had to pull out all the stops, and their teamwork was great in this one, and they did everything in which they could to always make sure that eUnited felt the pressure every single map and did not allow them to get that psychological advantage over them. And RushieZ proved constantly that, hey, we are going to fight and not back down.
I'm really, in my opinion, I think what I saw in this matchup against RushieZ was the eUnited that I was so critical of late last split and all of this split. eUnited was so separated. They played so far away from each other. They were banking on the fact that they are 4 of the best players in our game. And RushieZ said, I don't give a damn. I'm going to play with my teammates because the 4 of us together make a closed fist, and all you can do back in a 1v4 situation is try to slap one of us. And it took Herculean efforts, but it was never enough. And eUnited, they fall because teamwork makes the dream work.